Star 1978, Star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. Last time I saw Nicklaus, by the way, when I won that award with Ian, the certificate on the whatever that I didn't even expect or know anything about, he called me a star. Before we exited some door on our way, I believe, to go visit with Ian or meet Ian somewhere on Hofstra's campus. However, I was walking on Bell Boulevard just now, and I was looking. How are you? I was looking at what's coming through the town today. In whatever, and there was a moving billboard on the side, I think of somebody's car. It said Project Runway. And I'm like, no, that's interesting. I was like, because in actuality, when I picked up the Bayside Times and saw this, I mean, again, this is local and this is the new one. I think the first thing that comes to my mind looking at this photo is Project Runaway. With daddy issues, like meaning fatherland issues, like my daddy beat me. And then they wound up here in New York for some reason, and now there's like an identity crisis and identity theft going on. It's just a North Face perspective. But again, if I go even deeper into Project Runway, that goes in aviation and too much freedom of the air. So, I mean, it all ties in somehow. But every page I look for, it's some version of they come from really harsh lands that beat them or starve them or have these really bad histories, and then they wind up in New York and it becomes the Lust Garden Foundation, where like they take all of the norms, societal norms that were built here with love and care, and they just have thrown themselves into somebody else's project on the runway. It feels, or it would appear that way, considering what's walking around saying it's management. I mean, I come from the symbolic language of the area as a G under, from a gunder that wasn't groomed for like ballroom and West Point and Westminster, but should have been, because she was beautiful and like totally left in the lurch. And yet here we are, just another generation, another seedling had the same opportunity, and at least they put effort in to my grooming at first. But without the money and without the opportunity, it's turned into daddy issues and fatherland issues and funding issues and all sorts of new lust garden, just whatever, in a pedophilia kind of a way. And sexual predators are everywhere. They just are. I mean, here, some sexual predators in someone else's garden. It's what they live for. I don't understand why it's so hard to clean up, or why it's so difficult to organize properly. And on seeing the first ever playwright and that fact that he even recognized that his industry, I mean, again, playwright was a two-sided argument that you were able to tell in a certain format. I don't know if it's protected by certain, I mean, I think they get a playbill and something else. But I don't, like when they read a textbook with some publisher and some clearinghouse, they get something called an ISBN for, I guess, the ISO, to have one layer of standardization of language in teaching tools. Or they also put in here, I mean, I'm not going through this and reading it item by item because they haven't even taken the time to whatever while I'm here. But they have this big page that says politics in New York. This is like, I mean, again, talking about daddy issues and sexual predators, like preying on the discomfort of identity crisis. This area is going through a gender gap that's very pronounced somewhere behind closed doors. This is what is preying on the unsuspecting public that's been misled. It's politics in New York, and here's some faces. There's some names there, just so we give credit where credit is due. I wouldn't want to be like whatever and however the hoity-toity are running themselves with overeducated and somebody else's Lust Garden Foundation, and none of the information seems to be working the way that the promises of a yesteryear said it would, in some new spectacle. It's star 1978, star 8378. Again, the date is here. I think they might have an online presence. So there should be photos and references for the people in the photos. So this way, those with some teeth in the big shark, whatever, that knows how to balance a baby seal that just wants her number 7 as his 8. It would really be nice for something overseas and something over to finally get the over 6 foot part correct in my local area. It's star 1978, star 8378, Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy is broken.